Okay. I don't know if anybody's coming back. I feel like this is a testament to my faith. God is testing me right now. God is testing me right now. So you want to be a teacher? I'm gonna make you work for it. But I figured out what the problem was. It was a problem with it was connecting to the wrong internet. It is now connected to the right internet, and it will not freeze again. It better not. I'm calling somebody. As much money as I pay for it. We're back. Oh, girl, don't scare me. Do not. I'm about to flip a chair. I was about to flip a chair. I was like, "Oh, you are kidding me." Ah. I was like, "You're kidding me." All right. Anyway, I'm just gonna pick a random color. I'm just gonna pick a red for the base of this balloon. I'm using a hoo, by the way. And by the way, if you want to avoid getting streaks, go slow. See how slow I'm going? And I'm overlapping each stroke. So I'm getting very, very few streaks. Look at that. This color, it's R180 bright red. R180 bright red. So that's the only color I'm going to use from that from now. I just need the R180 bright red. I do need to shade. I do need to use, I am going to utilize my value scale because I just used that. I need a darker color to add a little bit of a shadow to it. So that was R180. I think that R240. I'm almost like an old lady adjusting my glasses when I'm looking at these. All to garnet. Do I want to use garnet? Garnet. Garnet should be a good color. See, I'm already utilizing that dang value scale because now I'm going a step down in color. And in my mind, my light source is coming from here. So this area is going to stay light. This area is where the shadow is going to be. I can't believe my internet tried to play me like that and ruin. When I tell y'all I was up all morning setting up the perfect live stream, I had the thumbnail, I had the link, I had everything ready. And that sucker just went kaputs. That was, and this is old red. This is R7. None of the R's are in actual orders of how the red should look. None of the R's go left. If you try to rely on them, they will go left and they will have you in blues. Okay. So I got my base color red down. I got my dark there. Now, like I said, I want to use my stippling effect to try to get some glitter. So I am going to be pulling out my, where are they? They let me down every time. Now I think I be pulling out every freaking size but the one I want. Thank you. My jelly rolls. And the dang jelly roll was right there in my face. If y'all don't have a jelly roll white pen or some type of white gel pen, y'all really need to get one. Y'all need to get one of these. Get you one of these. It's like a chicken salad. Everybody say hello in the chat, just so I know that y'all here and I didn't freeze again before I get into doing this. Because I will flip a chair like I'm in WWE. I swear. Okay, okay. Because at this point, I feel like they're trolling me. I'm gonna also grab a dual tip marker from Grabby. This is one of the ones that I do not have to shake and pump. And this is the dot one. This is the dot marker, and I'm using this to make my dark color. So in this dark area right here, I want to darken it a little bit with the dots. So I'm just putting a few little black dots here for my shadow. And I said, this is what I get for being messy in the beginning of my video when I mentioned the TikTok trends going awry. It was like, nobody told you to mention that. Take this. All right, now I'm using my white. And this is when you really start to see me using that stippling technique. Now, in the areas where I think my light is hitting me, I'll put more of a concentration of white dots. And then I'll just put pepper a few here and there. I don't have to put the black in there, but this is just a demo of once you learn how to use the technique, how it'll enhance your artwork. And once you buy those coloring books and you start coloring them, that is not your artwork. You are not an artist. I've dubbed you so. You are not a professional colorer. And talk about art therapy. This is so therapeutic when you're just sitting there dotting. I need to add some more shading, so I'm getting the black dot back out. Oop. Now, why would you do that? Why would you sabotage my drawing like that? My neighbors are popping firecrackers. I love this technique. If you just need to like just zone out and just be mindful, I love this technique. Not only do you get like a very pretty result, but your mind is just focused on just dots and value. I'm gonna pick it up so you can see it. It looks sparkly. Now I know you're gonna try this one and not be scared. You saw how quick that was? You know what? I'll send the email. I'll send the email out again in the morning, but on this stream right here, not the other two. Um, I will go ahead and link everything in the description because they'll let me edit the description afterward. I will link everything. And I will also put them in my links that are in my bio as well. So you can get all the practice sheets and all the information. Yeah, see, it's not that hard. It just seems that way. But once you learn the techniques, like imagine if I did all of these. It'd be the prettiest little bouquet of balloons. I'll upload them, and every week, because I do have a class next week as well. And I promise, now that we got the kinks worked out, next week will go a lot better. And I'll have color along with me throughout the week too. So if you just want to have like an ASMR session where I'm not doing a lot of talking and you just hear the scratching of the paper, I'll be live there. That way I can iron out all the kinks. Because this is the first time YouTube has done me dirty. This is the very first time. That's why I'm sitting here so shocked and appalled. Absolutely shocked and appalled that they did this to me. Okay, so that is a lesson in we did a double lesson in 2-in-1 because we did value and we did stippling, and you learned how to do glitter. So I'm gonna push that to the side. I'm dying to finish this dang bear, but I'm gonna save him and finish him if I go live tomorrow, I'll finish him then. Because now I want to see the rest of the balloons done. So I said we did the value scale, we did stippling. You saw what stippling can do when you use it. It's just dots. Now I want to show you. I hope I'm not shaking the camera too much. This is what I want to work on. This one. Is this the one I want? No, I want this one. The teddy bear is part of this practice thing. It's like 3 different sheets that you get. This is the one I want to work on next. So now I'm going to work on my value practice with a landscape. And you're going to see how the value scale translates to a landscape, because when you look at a lot of those cozy coloring books, a lot of them take place where they have all of these like trees and things in the background. I'm going to show you how the value scale will help you make things look like something that's closer to you versus something that's in the distance. Because all I'm going to do is pick out, and this is going to be done in like shades of green. I'm deciding it's springtime or summer. Everything that is up high is light, and as you get down, everything gets darker. Things that are closer to you are darkest. As things go out into the distance, they get lighter. It's called aerial perspective. And I'm going to actually pull out my handy dandy swatch sheet so I can pull out my colors. Anybody have any questions or anything you would like to see? Just checking. Y'all can hear me, right? I'm not frozen. So y'all have to actually be active, or I will think I'm frozen again and I will freak out and throw a chair. Cheap markers to start with. Oh, yeah. I actually have different markers linked in my Amazon storefront. So if you go to the links in my bio, I have my Amazon favorites. There will be some affordable markers that are in there that I have personally used. Almost everything that's linked in there, I have personally used. But these markers right here, Hotu markers, or Hatu if I'm Hotu markers, they are very good and they are very affordable. And they are very similar to Ohuhu. Ohuhu is a mid-range price marker. It's a mid-range price marker. It's not the most expensive out there. You know, that's Copic, that's Pro Marker, and that's Prismacolor. Ohuhu is mid-range. This is very good and very compatible to them, and they have brush tips as well. Also, they have Cal Art. I returned my Cal Art ones because I felt like I might as well just go ahead and get Ohuhu because that's what I really wanted. But I heard good things from them. And then a lot of people don't talk about these. This is Art Bleak. I believe that they are definitely in TikTok shop because they're in my TikTok shop. Also, Hotu is in my TikTok shop as well. But these are on Amazon too. These are very good. These are very cheap, but they're very good in my opinion. When I first started doing the coloring books, I was only using these. And I believe you can get like 80 of them for $30. And they're decent. They're very good. You got a good group of things you can use for skin tones. You got your red, you got your greens. Too many dang greens, if you ask me. Do we really need this many greens or pink? Probably not. But yeah, those are affordable. These are what I started with. These are my starters. I will try to find, I will show you. And these are the cheapest I own. I will show you which ones I did with that. That's it. I'm going to pull, excuse me, I'm going to actually just pull out my coloring pages that I've done in the past. I believe these was done with this markers for sure, but this is a lot of acrylic marker. Get y'all some acrylic markers, by the way. Get you some acrylics. This is my favorite, one of my favorite ones that I've done. This was done with these markers right here, the cheap markers. So it's not necessarily about the price. These are, you know, you can get good results. Once you know how to color, you can get decent results even with the cheaper markers. But honestly, if you're going to be coloring a lot and you're going to take this seriously, start to invest in the ones that are a little more expensive. That's because sometimes the cheaper ones can explode, they can dry out, they can yellow. Which is why, you know, Copic and Prismacolor and Ohuhu, those markers are the price they are for a reason. But if you just want to just have fun and just color, you don't want to spend that much, Art Bleak, Hotu, Touch, you know, those are all decent budget-friendly markers. And you're going to get good results. Get the Sharpie acrylic marker. Get the Sharpies. You can go right there to Walmart. They sell them at Walmart. They sell them at Sam's Club. You know, you can go right there to the regular art supply section. Not the art supply section for, you know, the artists. Go to the one where they keep Crayola. And they keep all the pens, the ballpoint pens. That's why they got them hiding. Get you the Sharpie ones. The Sharpie ones are very, very good. I've tried so many different acrylic markers. These are good. These are some of the best. So I would suggest getting these for a starter set. Other than that, Amazon has a bunch of different brands. Grabby has a lot of brands. Shuttle Art has a lot. I think there was like a popular acrylic marker, like 100 colors that was like super popular on TikTok. It was viral. Everybody kept asking me about it. I'm like, I was like, I ain't buying them. I already have 1,000 markers. I'm not buying a 100-piece set of acrylic markers. This is my first one I had. I still grabbed them even with all the acrylic markers I had. This is my go-to. Get you some Sharpie. Oh, the link to my email list should be in my bio here on YouTube. If not, I will add it to the channel this night, tonight. The thing is, I was like migrating from like one mailing list to the other, so I'm still upgrading everything. I am a work in progress, y'all. One day y'all gonna see me and be like, I remember when she was nothing, and now look at her. So y'all gonna look at me one day. I remember when she couldn't even get her live to unfreeze, and now look at her. And yes, we will have a skin tone class. I believe that is I want to say week 3. And that is because, and I pushed that back further because I need to make little mannequin heads for y'all to practice on. So every week, look out for my email because I will email y'all new worksheets every week. And when we get to skin tones, y'all will have little mannequin heads to practice on. So I don't hear nobody say, oh, I was too scared to color in my coloring book. You're going to get mannequin heads to practice on. So I don't want to hear none of that. None of it. Because y'all always like to tell me, I'm scared. Because I know that's why a lot of you came here. And then, remember, this is just my beginner's class. I'm a beginner at teaching virtually. So once we get the kinks knocked out, we will do an advanced class where it's a deep dive into blending skin tones, coloring people. Where I will just hammer y'all in and we will work with y'all on camera too so I can see what y'all doing. And I will teach y'all everything I know about coloring people. But before we can get there, we're going to work here and we're going to iron out all the kinks. Iron out all my kinks too. Hell. Yeah, okay. So, area, perspective, value scale, practice. And this is just a fun little sheet to do. It's an easy sheet. You don't have to think about it. It's just fun. So I said I wanted to do like the daytime. Every time I say spring, I think of that scene in the Tyler Perry movie, The Wedding, Paris in the springtime. Every time. She lives rent-free in my head with that line. Rent-free, I tell you. What am I gonna pick here? Why is there's a frost blue color? I swear up and down it is purple. It is not blue, it is purple, and they lied to us. Okay, I'm using this color is called Sky Blue. It's a lie. It looks very much close to a purple to me, but that is what I've chosen. It is too dark to be a sky color. But we just gonna roll with it. I'm just gonna go ahead and knock my sky color out. I'm in the process of making a swatch guide of colors that I think work good for like fashion. This color is Sky Blue. It's supposed to be like a sky color. This is a perfect denim color. If you were coloring somebody who had like a denim dress or a denim outfit, this is a perfect denim color. So like you say, you can't, I'm still working in fashion. I'm no longer in New York, but you can't take the fashion out of me. Hey, thank you. I put them on just for this live because I was like, my hands was looking like I clean pipes on the weekends. So I was like, I have to be cute. My hair is still a mess, but my nails is going to look good for my class. I may not have it together, but I'm going to look like it. So now I got my too dang dark sky. Don't laugh. Y'all know I'ma always act the fool, right? Oop. So when you're coloring, one thing I do suggest, don't be like me. Pick out your colors ahead of time. Pick out whatever colors you're going to use ahead of time, and then make little swatches of them on the side so that you know where your light is, where your medium is, where your dark is. That's going to make it so much easier when you're blending because you got them all lined up and you're ready to go. So pick your colors out and have them ready. Okay, so that is a good light color into a darker color. And I'm working my way down because I know I want my colors to be lighter here and darker as I go. When you're coloring, light to dark, light to dark. You can always get darker. You cannot get lighter. And you see how fast I'm going, and I'm going, well, you could do this slowly too. You should probably do it slower than what I'm doing it. But I'm going in circular motions. And that is reducing all that streaks. Now, if you're coloring people in a coloring book, same technique. This reduces those streaks. You see how smooth that is? Circular motions. If you have to hum that Juvenile song, slow motion for me, that's how you do it. Look at, not a streak in sight. Look at that. Okay, now I'm going to go in with a slightly darker color than that. I'll do the next phase underneath that. I'm taking my time. I'm doing my little slow motion circles so I don't have streaks. Not that there's anything wrong with streaks. I made the mistake of saying, telling somebody how to not have streaks, and they got real offended with me. I said, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Okay. And another thing, when it comes to blending and you're transitioning from one color to the other, if you let the paper dry, you can go over a section again with the exact same color and it will automatically darken that area for you. You don't actually need like 4 or 5 different colors. You can get a very, very strong value scale effect with just one marker. You just have to let it dry in between and go over in layers. So I think I let the upper layer dry a little bit. So if I wanted to go in here and add some shading using the same marker that I just used down there, because I let it dry, it's going to show up darker for me. As a matter of fact, to demonstrate that, let me get one of my, I'm still working on this, but I want to demo this while I'm doing it. Here we go. Let that dry right there so I can move on to the next section. I'm only going to do 3 sections on here. But as they dry, I'm going to show you how I can darken one color with just one, using the same marker. I can get a whole bunch of values out of it. I probably should have took my time with that, but I didn't. Let that dry and see what effect that gives us going over it in the same section. All right, so we got this area. Is this dry? Did you dry enough for me so I can go back and darken you with the same color? See, we're already starting to get a little bit of dimension. It varies. It's gonna depend on your marker. Some markers are juicier than others. Hotu markers, for example, are very juicy. So they may take a little bit longer to dry. It also depends on your paper. So you just have to check yourself. So they don't have like a standard drying time. It depends on your paper and it depends on the marker itself. But you'll usually know when they're dry because you'll be able to tell from the paper. And for reference, the colors I'm using are leaf green and glass green, and leaf green from Ohuhu. Now I'm gonna try. Let's see. Let's get a bud green. What color is this? Is this darker? Oh, I don't like that one. I don't like that one at all. Okay. I'm looking at a color right now that I absolutely hate. What the hell is horseradish green? And why is it like a pale pasty color? I ain't never once went to a restaurant and got horseradish and the sucker was a green. It's always white. They play too much with these dang colors. Y'all really thought y'all was gonna get through a lesson without me fussing, huh? Okay, now I'm gonna go down to this one. This green is a slightly different hue because it has more yellow in it, whereas the other ones were more blue. But I'm still doing the same technique. And this is apple green, which makes no sense. Ain't no damn green apples this color. I think I'm also going to use this color for my trees too. because I just look, they do the most with the naming of these colors. They do the most. Can you imagine if out you were teaching like a class of like kids? Do you know how many questions they would have? Like that's not the color of a green apple. It's like I know that there ain't no apples that are this green. They are way Granny Smith apples are way brighter than this. I don't know what made them say like that is not no. Y'all laugh at my pain all y'all want. It bothers me so much. So here I am supposed to be using art as my therapy, but I'm fussing at the freaking colors. And I'm using the brush tip a lot. You can use this exact same tip, excuse me, technique if you have um, a fine tip marker. Because a lot of the budget markers, even the cheaper sets of Ohuhu, they come with the fine tip. Yes. So they come usually you'll get a combination. There's three different types of tips you'll get. You'll get a brush tip, a fine tip, and a chisel tip. Chisel tips are actually for me, I like them to do like broad areas and they can also, help with certain effects as well. But mostly you will see me use a brush tip marker. But sometimes I'll use a fine tip. Fine tip is really, really good for getting in tight areas. Even better than a brush tip at times. So they all have their good points, excuse me. So now I'm checking on that page that I colored earlier. I'm about to go over it again now that it's dry and see if I can bring out some different values out of here. So I'm doing that in between this, so I'll give it time to dry. And see if we can see just like that. You can see this is the exact same marker I'm using. But the amount of time, when you let it dry and you go over it again, you get a whole nother color. So it takes a minute. But the exact same things you can do what I did with the color earlier, the pencil, you can do with markers. It just takes a minute. You have to let it dry in between each steps. And it matters how hard you press on the marker because that's going to decide how much ink comes out. Like I said, the chisel and the broad tip, it has its uses. So I know when I let this dry, I'm gonna be able to go in here and add more details with this green. It has its uses. An apple green is not apple. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just the apple green gets me. I'm going to try to apply very, very light pressure because I want this to be as light as possible up here. And if you go ahead and print these sheets out, you can have fun with it. You can do different color schemes. You can make one of them like a spring, one summer, one fall. If you have acrylic markers, you can literally take the leaves or make the leaves look like they're dying and doing winter. See, I'm going in circles, minimal streakage, and I'm moving fast because I'm trying to catch that overlap. Because what I don't want to happen is for one area to dry before I've gotten a chance to like seamlessly blend it. I don't want it drying on me. Yeah, if you're doing a color scheme when they use only one color, well, for one, I'm trying to use different shades of green, but if you only wanted to use one marker, you would, like I said, you would go in, press very, very light pressure, do your first wave, let it dry fully, then go back in, do your second wave, let it dry, do your, and then, every time you pass over it, you're going to get a different effect. Are we dry? No, we're still wet. We're still wet. We're going to try to see if we can manipulate that so we can get multiple hues out of one marker. Down here is dry, so I can go back over again with the exact same color and add shading. Exact same color, exact same marker that I used to do them. But because I let it dry, it blends differently. It's called dry blending. When I do the leaves, I'll show you wet blending. You can take on, so you can see how we can blend two different colors into one. Okay, so now we're getting down here. I want to do a richer color, so I'm going to pick out a darker color. I'm not picking horseradish, just off of tell you that name. Just off of, just because I'm not picking horseradish. What's this color? This is, okay, I'm gonna do these two colors. This is grass, of all colors, grass green. And when I'm doing grass green, I'm going to do a wet blend. Instead of what we've been doing, we've been pretty much dry blending with the same marker on top of each other. Now I'm going to do a wet blend. Okay, I got this filled in. Now before it dries, I'm going to take the darker color. And I'm going to apply it in there. This is called, I'm doing this before it dries, so you have to be quick when you do these. And the purpose of this is it's going to blend without me putting any pressure on it. You're going to literally watch it blend into each other because I did it wet. Do you see how it's naturally, without me doing anything to it, just blending itself? There's two things that happen to make that work. One, I was blending very fast and it was wet. I didn't let it dry, so it's able to blend. Two, when you know your value scale, you can pick colors that seamlessly blend one to the other. And as long as you are using the wet blending technique, they will blend without you doing anything to them. That's why I showed you the value scale. Like I said, if you can learn how to take something from white to dark with one color, you can line those colors up next to each other. And when you're blending, they will do all the work for you. You'll have no streaks. They'll just melt right into each other. I'll do it again on a bigger leaf so you can see it work. So I'm going in, I'm using my technique of going in circles so I don't get a lot of streakage, and I'm moving fast because I want to get this whole area covered while it's still wet so that it'll be easy for me to blend. Right? I got my darker color. While it's still wet, I'm going in there with it. All I'm doing is coloring. I'm not doing anything else to it. It's gonna blend itself seamlessly. Now, if I wanted to nudge it along and make it blend even more, you can take the color that I use, the lighter color, and you can tap the edges of it, of the darker one. It's going to make it blend even more. This will come in handy when you're drawing, when you're coloring people. That way you won't have those hard edges. That is how you smooth out skin tone with a wet blend. Because I'll show you with her. You see that shadow that's underneath her lip, how it's not a harsh line, how it just kind of bleeds into her skin tone? That's a wet blend. And because I use the shadow that's in the same color family as her skin tone, it's a smooth transition. It's not harsh. So I'll go over it again, and then I'm gonna have to go back in and see. Now that I've done these wet blends down here, I feel like I gotta go back into the other parts and make them pop out more too. Wet blending is wait, did I grab the wrong color? Wet blending is like one of my favorites things to do. And if you want to get really, really into it, you can get, like, I could get a darker color and put a darker color there and really make it pop out. Pop out like Kendrick Lamar. I'll probably do an individual video on this so that you can rewatch it over and over again. And I'll probably do an individual video on the the stippling with the glitter effect that we did earlier. Once again, while it's wet, go in there. So I say, when you sit down to color, plan out your colors ahead of time. Pull them out. Line them up from lightest to darkest. Make your own value scale. Line them up. And that way when you're doing this, all you got to do is just lay it down. They're going to do the rest. They're going to blend themselves seamlessly. Now this is dry. I'm going to go back into this. God Dang apple green. I'm going to add some more dimension to this apple green. Now I'm shading apple green with apple green. Because when you're trying to shade with the exact same marker, you have to let it dry. You can't do you cannot do a wet blend with the same color, because all it's going to do is just dry into one color. Now you're starting to see we're starting to build. We're doing different techniques, but we're starting to build dimension. Yes. The little mini ones I did on YouTube, on TikTok, yeah, I'm gonna upload those too. Either I'm gonna upload them, I'm just gonna redo them on here. The problem with TikTok is that I was one of those people who accidentally got it knocked off my phone in a fit of rage. And then it came back a few hours later, and I was just sitting there staring at the rain outside the window, feeling very stupid. But because I no longer have it on my phone and I can't doom scroll, that's why y'all ended up getting a class out of me. Because I got nothing else to do. I may as well be productive. But we'll upload them. Now this lesson isn't on TikTok yet, but I'll upload it there. Look at that. Like I said, if I wanted to, I can get a color that was even darker than these and get another layer of dimension to it. See, once you start mastering it, then you're gonna be like, you're gonna start showing off. Because if I wanted to, I could go in here with a third shade. Like, oh, she's showing off now. And make it pop out even more. But right now, I would tell you to practice with just two different colors. So you can get in there and like really get to it. Yeah, that's how they achieve those things though. And then for this final layer down here, I'm gonna go grass green. I'm gonna go pine green tree, really, really dark. This would have been cute for Valentine's Day if you do it in shades of red and pink and just like added little hearts to it. It's gonna be a cute little, you can make it your own. Like I said, I sent the sheets out, but I'm gonna have a place where you can find them. I'm gonna go ahead and put the links to these in my bio so you can find them and practice whenever you want. If you decide to post it, please tag me. Oh, I didn't realize I didn't finish a leaf. See, I knew y'all was going to do that to me. Every time. Every time. Every time. It never fails. Y'all, release. Release. Trust me, I'm gonna get it. The funny thing is how y'all let me get all the way down to the leaves at the bottom without filling in the tree. That's the funny part. It's like, y'all slipping. Y'all didn't even say nothing about the tree. I got half of mine just to leave it like that to annoy y'all. Just to leave it. Be like I said, have a good night. Okay. And now I'm gonna. So in the morning, at some point, I'm gonna send an email out. I'm gonna once again, I'm gonna add this sheet to it, and I'm gonna put the proper link to this class because I ended up having to close out 2 different lives to get to this one. But like I said, it's all learning. It's all learning. And we learn it. One day y'all be able to say, I remember when she ain't have nothing together. Okay, I'm gonna get a darker color in here because I need it to be darker. But we got it for next time. I'm gonna start the live probably earlier next time to get all the kinks out. You never know when you're dealing with stuff when it comes to being digital. It's, you're never fully in control. The computer and the internet is going to do whatever it wants to do. There we go. No, they're not needed. They're not needed. So color pencils are added to enhance your artwork. You do not need to use them. You can get really really good blending without ever touching a color pencil. What color pencils do is they kick it up a notch and they bring it to another level. That's why you'll see people like Coco, coloring with Coco. You'll see her use color pencils a lot in her work because it just gives another level of depth. Also, color pencils are very very good for correcting mistakes. Color pencils and acrylic markers, very good for correcting mistakes. Um, when I am coloring people, I use color pencils every single time. Every time I will use them because it just gives me another depth that I may not be able to achieve with markers. I'll show you. Give me one of the girls. Actually, I'll just use the one I've been using. All of her like makeup and everything here, that's blended out using color pencils because it just gives me a much smoother blend and it's less of a commitment because I could try to achieve the blush using color pencils. I mean, markers, I really could. But if something goes awry, how am I fix that? But I can achieve it using color pencils and it's less of a commitment. Let me find one that, oh, we found Cancer. All of this blush and all of this blending that's on her, that's color pencil. Now, I could probably have achieved this with marker, but it gives it a whole nother layer of depth and a whole nother texture by doing it with color pencils. Let's see. So since we brought color pencils up, let's see. Do I have a decent color pencil green? I do. Luckily, I happen to have my color pencils here. And I will show you the difference really quickly of what a color pencil can do. Is that the color I want? No, it's going to blend too much. That is going to blend right on in with that. And also, when it comes to color pencils, it also helps when you're like getting complementary colors. This is a lot of green here. I'm actually not going to want to blend with green, shade with green. I'm going to get a blue. I just dropped a color pencil on the ground. Indigo blue. Indigo blue is one of my go-to color pencils. It's perfect for blending. If you're going to use a color pencil, make sure you get a color pencil sharpener. Or else they're going to break on you. They're going to break on you like a person you was in a relationship and you swore you could trust and you put all your trust in them and they just broke and left you off to dry every time. So I'm going to use this color pencil and you're going to see. It's another way of shading. If you didn't want to shade at all using markers, you just wanted to use the markers flat, like you could lay down flat colors and not even worry about using the markers to shade. Where you can go and you can shade on top of color pencil and get just as much depth and add some added texture on top. Is it necessary? No. It's just another way to color. In the same token, you don't have to color using markers. I think sometimes people forget the OG coloring tool was the color pencil. Like coloring, coloring pencils and coloring books used to go together real good. I'm willing to bet that color pencils don't really like the fact that Marcus just came in and just took old girl away from him. When you're using a color pencil, always have a sharp tip. Don't color with them dull. They don't blend as well. And don't color upright like this. Color at an angle. And always try to color within the same direction. That's how you have less lines and less streaking. But you get rid of streaking by going over it in layers over and over and over again. So it's just another way of doing it. Like I said, it really, really, really helps when you're drawing people because it's just a smoother, easier way to control your blend. But you can use it to color anything. When I do that, finish that teddy bear drawing, I'm definitely going to use color pencil to give the effect of fur. See? That blend, I was able to push it forward. So this is just another way to shade. Everybody see that? It's subtle. You see how subtle that is? But you get the dimension and it's very, very subtle. And my pro tip I tell everybody, when you're shading with color pencils, try to avoid using the black. I really don't shade with black unless I necessarily absolutely have to. My darkest color, I use like an indigo blue or very, very, very dark violet to shade. You will very rarely see me pick up black. I'm use black very intentionally because it kills color. See, right now I'm using a dark indigo blue to add some shadow behind those leaves. And it just makes it pop out more. Very smooth, very subtle. And also it helps, say that you want to get more you want to get more depth in here, you want to get more shadow, but you don't have a darker color. You don't have anything darker than this green. Pop out your color pencils and see if you can, make things come forth a little bit more. See, now you done got me stuck with the color pencils in my hand. This is supposed to be just a little simple little coloring page I printed out for y'all. And I'm literally in here saying, I'm going to make this something. I'm going to make this something. And I think that's one of the things I love about learning these techniques and about these simple, bold, and easy coloring pages. Once you learn how to blend and how to shade, they take on a whole new life. And no, you don't have to do all of this. You can literally just get your coloring page, color in there, do your flat coloring, and move on. But for me, it becomes a bit of therapy for me to do this because I really have to focus. My mind is here. I don't know how everybody else's mind works, but my mind is always working all the time. I wake up in the morning, she's already there on her Zoom. especially in the current political climate we have right now. I'm not going to deep dive into it because I don't want to bring that energy here, but my mind is always working. And so I just need to slow it down and to exist in this moment. And doing stuff like this, like picking up the color pencils, laying out my colors, having to have my value scale and everything, it allows me to exist in this space. Yeah, the painting in Central Park, yes. Yeah, that is what this can do. And you see, it's not that hard. You just, you have to give it its time. You just have to give it its time. Because I know sometimes when I look at like clips on TikTok of people coloring or finished coloring pages, I'm like, how the heck did they do that? You know? How did they do that? Why does it look so good? Why did they sit there and draw every blade of grass? Every blade of grass. They just took their time. You put on some soft music. And like I said, I'm going to start doing ASMR ones as well. If you just want to just sit and just hear the sounds of the pencil and the marker just scratching the page. And I won't talk as much except for the occasional me cussing out a color because it doesn't match the name. I don't think you'll ever get a 100% silent video out of me. Um, but it's a good way to practice mindfulness. I personally have trouble meditating because I don't know how to shut my brain off. I do not know how to shut my brain off. I will sit down to meditate, and 2 seconds in, I'll wonder if I'm out of toilet paper or not. I wonder if I locked the front door or the cat's outside still fighting. You know, it's just my brain will go every which way. But this is my meditation. I can get lost in this. I can shut my brain off of this. And so now you can see what color pencils can do. They just take it to another level. You don't need them, but once you start using them, after a while you're like, no wait, I do need it. I do need it. But you don't need them. Let me stop before you have me going back over this whole thing and adding birds and stuff to it. Also, if you want to have a little more fun, if you take those jelly roll pens that I used earlier, you can go in and you can add little highlights. Oh, I'm happy to hear that. Please. Now that you say that, I might go slap mine on the kitchen on the refrigerator and see how long it takes for my husband to be like, "What is this? What's this?" And if he say anything other than "Okay, I like it, Picasso," I'm filing for a divorce. See, that little white highlight just pops things even more. Now, if you want to get fancy, like some of the girls be getting fancy, you can have your yellow sun and then have like yellow sunlight coming through. We'll have to do that on another day. Where they have like you can actually see where the light is hitting things. But like I said, we're one step at a time. We're going to master one technique at a time, because if you follow Color Talk will be like, we're going to paint everything in hieroglyphics, chromatic colors today. Be like, how did you? They don't even sell those colors. I was supposed to color this. Let me go back and shade this. Oh, where's my tester that I was doing to see if we can get the value scale out of one marker? We getting there. You can start to see. But I say it takes time, but you can develop the shading with just one color. You just have to let it dry in between. Where was I? Where's that apple green? Apple. Yeah, the coloring girlies are doing their thing. They doing their thing. I even be sitting there like, I got $2 and some Sheen and Temu markers. Take it or leave it. Take it or leave it. I'm twitching up. This is a brown gray. I'm gonna use this for my tree. Can't leave the tree white. That's gonna be the base for my tree. And we are going to, so that is that color. Brown gray. And I'm going to take a deep teak marker. And while it's still wet, I'm going to make my shading. And I already know to smooth this out, I'm probably going to use color pencils. I didn't mean to grab this green for this tray. I went to grab a different green, but we're already here. We make happy mistakes around here because this is art and coloring for healing. And no matter how it comes out, I'm still putting it on the refrigerator. And it better be framed within a week, or else divorce. Yeah, it was the wrong green I grabbed. Don't be like me. Check your colors before you go in. Am I going to let that stop me? No. Make this mistake into a happy accident. So did anybody learn anything? We got another class this time next week, which I'm all going to be 100% prepped for. Ain't going to catch me slipping ever again. Maybe I shouldn't say. Maybe I shouldn't proclaim that. Next week we're going to meet Saturday. And the reason we're going to meet Saturday is because I know Sunday is Super Bowl Sunday. So I know better. We're going to meet Saturday before in color. And then y'all can go be stressed out over the dang teams. I believe next week I'm doing a little bit of color theory and color mixing and everything. But we might actually do some pattern work too. Yeah, it's really about patience. It's about patience and a lot of prep work. Um, if you want a certain outcome, it does take a little bit of prep work, meaning taking your time, going through your markers, picking out your markers beforehand, seeing how they swatch next to each other. And if they blend together when you're swatching them, they're going to automatically blend on their own while you're coloring. So it's less work for you. And also it comes out seamless. Like I said, grab your light color, your medium color, your dark color. swatch them out next to each other before you color. It makes a world of a difference. That value scale, it may seem like why am I learning this? It makes a world of a difference. And being patient. And y'all really gonna be happy I showed you this when I have y'all drawing people. When I have you coloring people. Because I don't hear nobody fussing at me about the way I colored their zodiac sign. Color them yourself. I taught you how to do it. Yeah. So color value and color families, they're two different things. Um, when we're talking about value, we're literally talking about moving from like light to dark. When we're talking about color families, that is what when you see me complaining about the Ohu markers and the way that they're set up, it's because their families are dysfunctional. Okay, they're a blended family. They don't like each other. There's one stepchild that's in the back that look like the daddy from the old family, and don't nobody talk to that child. Like that's why I don't like the way the markers come set up. The families is dysfunctional. Um, but like say, looking at this particular drawing, you can actually see different color families within the greens. Up here we have more cool greens. These are greens that have a little bit more blue to them. As we get further down, you can start to see me shift, and I'm using greens that have more yellow in them. We're still in greens, but the families have divided. They've divorced. They've started to blend out. I know I'm probably making no goddamn sense. But that's what they mean when they mean your color families. We're still in the green family, but you're gonna have some that are more blue. You're gonna have some more that are more yellow. And when you're looking at the different hues, everything is going to be based on how close they are to a particular primary colors. Your primary are red, yellow, and blue. And so depending how close one of the other colors is to that in that particular family, they're going to lean more to that way. That's why when you can say that, oh, I want a green. Okay, what kind of green? Do you want more of a blue green? Do you want it, which is more like a teal, a turquoise? Those are more of your bluish greens versus, say, a grass green. That's when you're getting close to a yellow. They're still in the green family, but they're going other ways. If you want a purple, if you want a red, if you're looking at different shades of lipstick, there's a difference between a lipstick that has some blue in it and a lipstick that has a little more yellow, a little more orange tint. They're not always going to look good on everybody's lips. You have to realize what family you're in. You are very, very welcome. Any more last minute questions before we wrap up for the day? Remember, I'm gonna re-email this out to everybody who did not get it, and I'm gonna update a lot of my links so everybody will have access to these and all of the different practice things. You can actually use this when you're getting ready to do a coloring page to go ahead and lay out your swatches so that you have seamless blending. Oh, well, you are so welcome. I'm happy that I can use my expertise, all that money I spent on art school, I can actually pass that along, and you don't have to go through what I went through. So that you'll get this sheet, you'll get this one, which you have the pretty little roses and the bees. What else you should be getting? And the teddy bear. I'm gonna finish the teddy bear in a different video. It won't be live. I'll just end up uploading it. And I'll talk more about blending. But I'm in love with the way this came out. Just that one little balloon. Remember, we're going to meet again next Saturday at 7 p.m. here. We'll have the kinks ironed out by then. I'll probably start the live a little bit early. That way we can see if the sound is right, if the video is freezing. Like I said, I can't 100% control technology. It's going to do what it wants to do, but I will do my absolute best. But I thank y'all so much for being patient with me through this and not like abandoning me and be like, she has no clue what she's doing. I don't have any clue what I'm doing, but I appreciate y'all for letting me fake it till I make it. You are welcome. Speaking of coloring books, don't forget pre-orders. Well, you can still get my Zodiac coloring book and my volume Baddie Volume 1 coloring book, but pre-order to Per and Proper will be opening up soon. That is my Bridgerton animal inspired book. So these are some pages that I colored recently. You'll get to do fun little vignettes like this. I just finished sketching out the page for the queen with her big elaborate hair. I'm in love with it. Like I said, I can't wait to see how people do this little queen cat. But thank y'all for coming. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I'm going to get to work on getting those links and everything up. You guys have a great, great night. Thank you.